All right, so we're going to start off with one of the biggest joke cards in the game, if you ask me.
Oh man, yeah. 1/1s high all day. I'll never pull it in arena. I'll never put it in a constructed deck. It's just
It's that bad.
Unless you were literally trying to do something with it. I just don't see myself using it, man.
Yep, and I agree as well. I just have ones across the board. And the next card we have is Basilisk.
I think it's great. It's a great card. It definitely synergizes well with all the rest of the beasts. Good 2-drop. Go threes across the board with that one.
Okay. And just because Beast Zeus is a proven deck in Constructed, I will be giving it a 4. But obviously metas change, so if the meta changes where Beast Zeus is not as viable as it is, I think it's actually a pretty viable deck right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Beast Zeus is definitely viable.
Yeah, it's surprisingly fast. I don't think people understand that.
And it's, especially when it first came out, it was a nice change of pace to Zeus, something different.
Totally. So I'm giving a very as low of a 4 as I can give, but it is an essential part of that deck because of how good it synergizes with those spiders.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Next card we have here is Fire Imp.
It's nice having the charge. I usually don't pull it over other neutrals unless there's like literally, you got like a hive and some other garbage thing to pick between.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd go like 2 3s, like or low 3s. It's meh. It's nothing incredible. It's just nice to have that charge to pop something.
Yeah, I just look at it as a defensive judgment that doesn't doesn't have that added bonus on it.
Yeah.
So 3s are definitely good. I could see, as you're saying, it would be an extremely low 3, but that charge and 2 damage is always good and has gotten me out of some troubles in the past. Next card, we're gonna be having Hyena.
Hyena's a good card if you're going beast. Whether it be beast law or just going beast, like you even said it with Arachne. Just those that builds out, reverse Uguay it up. So it's a good 2-drop. It's a good rare. I would say it's 4s across the board.
Yeah.
Depends on how you even building your arena. You can actually get a lot of use of them too.
Yeah, I think that's fair. If you get enough Arachnes...
I think it's weaker in arena versus constructed for sure, but I do think he's good.
It really comes down to how many Arachnes you have, I think. He's, as you called it, or coined the term earlier, reverse Uguay, and that's pretty good. Every turn... Go ahead.
I'm actually realizing I'm supposed to be rating these with Zeus in mind, so forgive me, guys. I'll be focusing on that. Right now, it's just rating them.
Oh, no, it's okay. Is there anything that you'd like to change?
Oh, definitely Basilisk then, for sure.
Okay.
On constructed, definitely goes up. Yeah, I was just doing them based off of like just a broad, in general, what I thought of them.
Oh, don't worry. We're just like 3 or 4 minutes in. That's no harm, no foul, man. Plus, I have tequila now, so everything's great.
Oh, man. I'm missing out.
So, okay, I changed your Hyena up, and everything else is the same. Or, I'm sorry, I changed your Basilisk up. And Hyena is a 3-4-4-4. So you have double 4s on Hyena right now.
For Hyena, I would say I probably would go lower on Hyena when it's not in constructed. Mainly because, I mean, there's those few times where you get like, 4 Arachnes and holy smokes, you go down.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, Zeus doesn't have much that synergizes with Beast beyond her. So it'll go lower on Arena for me for sure on that.
Yeah, I have 3-4 as well. Next card is Imperial Soldier.
Yes, because Zeus is known for all those crazy spells he keeps spamming.
Exactly.
I'd probably go with 2s across the board for this. It's just it's it's a 2/2 for 2. But it's nothing you'd pick over. I mean, maybe even a 1 for constructed. I don't think I've ever seen Imperial Soldiers really pulled on Zeus for constructed.
That's actually, I have it as a 1 on constructed as well. So we're in agreement on 2 and 1 there. It's just not going to be used in constructed unless they come out with a shitload more spells.
Yeah, exactly.
Inferno Cannon.
Inferno Cannon. Without being able to move around. Still probably one constructed for me, 2 arena.
That's fair. As much as I hate on it and give it a 2 or a 1 in arena always, when I'm not playing as Bologna, obviously, it is still needs to be respected as a defensive unit. And I totally understand why you're going to give it a 2, because if you're ever on the defensive, they have to come on your side of the board, and Inferno Cannon is still going to be good. But you totally lose all aspects of going offensive with it unless you're playing Bologna.
Yeah, exactly.
Now here's a card. Even when I'm playing as Odin, I don't ever put this in the deck. Have you ever used Kaldir in anything you've built?
Dude, I agree with you 100% on that. I just don't. I don't throw them in there. I feel like as far as other neutrals go, there's just better 2-drops to work with. It's just, I don't really throw them in there. It doesn't really have any skill. You're better off throwing an Imperial Soldier if that's the case. At least maybe you'll get a damage out of it or 2 damage,
To be honest, I really think that they don't have a way to have a unit spawn that's not a neutral card already, and I'm almost 100% sure that's why this is a neutral card, because it's such a shit card except for when it gets spawned from Scotty, that the only reason that it makes sense to me is because that's the way engineering was able to make it work, to be completely honest.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, I agree with you. It's so much better as a 1-drop that's a 3/2.
Yeah.
Than a 2-drop that's a 2/2. It's no brainer. Going back a card. Sorry for this.
No problem.
Inferno Cannon. What do you think about Inferno Cannon if it had, say, Athena's ability to be spawned anywhere?
Oh, it would be broken then. If it was spawn it anywhere on your side of the board, that's fine. But if you're starting to spawn things on their side of the board that has ranged, that's way broken. Because I'm going to just take like the top side, put cannons up there, and force you onto the bottom, and you probably would never be able to retake that that bulkhead that I have going there.
Oh man, and imagine comboing that with Spacious Satyr and stuff.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You might find it used for. Well, no, actually, no, you still wouldn't.
Do you? Did you want anything higher than a 1 on Calder here?
No, Calder 1's across the board. It's just not good to pull an arena if you got other choices. Obviously, if you're stuck with other cards that we rank as 1, then you might grab it. But other than that, I would still rank it 1 across the board.
Okay. Next card we have here is Marksman.
Marksman with Zeus.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yep, exactly.
It's a very high forward arena. Definitely want to grab one at least. And same with constructed. I think he's 4s across the board.
It's really weird in the sense, if he were to ever get any kind of change that made him any better in any way, like more life, more damage, anything like that, he would be at instant 5 and overpowered as fuck. While you're playing as Greek.
He's already teetering there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't get an answer for him, he can be. I have really screwed over other people in in Arena just by having a marksman become way too big to handle, and they were unlucky with their pulls with spells or something like that.
Yeah, I almost wanted to give this a 5, to be honest, but that's why I kind of wanted to sing its praises here before I do settle on the 4/4.
That's fair.
I really like this card. I think in the last HRX tournament, he finally got some love from some of the top players. They played at least one of them in a lot of the curve type decks.
Yeah, and it should be. I mean, it's a good card.
Next card we have here is Mercenary.
Oh man, I like the card, but with Zeus, it's just you're not really massing a lot back there.
Not at all.
Unfortunately, yeah, that drops him down. I mean, I don't think I've ever thought Mercenary and Zeus on a constructed deck. Even if you want to spam a bunch of spiders, you're kind of pointlessly keeping spiders at the base. So I don't know. I'd probably go like, even though it's kind of mean to do it, I'd still go with 1s across the board, or 2s if you want to be nice for it being legendary. But no, I wouldn't.
It's fine. Remember, what we're looking at is opportunity cost, and it's not even just broad opportunity cost. We're looking at, is there any deck where this wants to be used, right? So it's not bad to say that this is 1s across the board when we know, as we're talking about earlier, you put this in a Hindu deck, and I'd honestly give this a 5 in a Hindu deck, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I completely agree with you. There's no reason for you ever to put this in a Zeus deck. He will pretty much always be attacking as a 1 to 3 attack creature, so leave him out, guys. Next card we have here is Nemean Lion.
He's still weak. With Beast, you can try to synergize with some pumping up the hyena, but beyond that, yeah, it's very meh. So I would go with maybe like 2, 3. I think.
Okay, no, that's fair. I don't think it's one of the better beasts at 2 for sure. The hyena is better. The white tiger is better, and obviously basilisk is better with the spiders. So I'm gonna definitely parrot your rankings here with 2 and 3.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just it's kind of sad that the white tiger is better than as far as rarity goes. But white tiger is a lot better, in my opinion, than a lion any time of the day.
Yeah, it doesn't help that you have a card that gives Protect 2 at 4 costs too. So
exactly, there's just a lot that just doesn't really work with it. I'm not really going. I give it a little bit more love for Arena, mainly because it's Arena. You might be able to sponge up some skeletons, but constructed, it really doesn't make much sense for you to want to pick them over a lot of other 2-drops that you got.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. Now, we talked a little bit about this earlier, but the next card is Scion of Doom.
Yeah, Scion of Doom. I think he needs to get a lot more love in a lot of different decks, but I think he's a good card. Anything where you can surprise the opponent because they don't see it coming.
Yeah.
Get a little cozy with something being in attack range, and they're like, "Well, I can't do anything about it." I think is a good thing. So, I don't know. I think in constructed, maybe a high 3. Arena, same kind of in the same place.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give him again like. I have to agree with you. It is also a 3. I want to give him a 4 here in Arena, but it's so situational. Scion of Doom combined with Hades and combined with Scylla is incredibly powerful. I would easily give him the 4 if you have those cards already in your deck. But I'm not going to be picking Scion of Doom and then expecting to draw those gods after. That's probably a losing proposition. Now, this is a card that makes me really wonder, right? Because a Thracian I would assume is from the Mediterranean and probably in some ways Greek. And this card has no use in terms of pairing with Greek.
Well,
I mean, right?
no, you're very right. You want to pull something out of your butt, you can say, hey, I can Athena something next to him and surprise him. But no, you're not. You're not gonna do much with Thracian.
Not at all.
I would give it ones across the board. There's just other better 2-drops to pick. Zeus isn't really known for massing crazy things. I feel like you're wasting a spot in your deck if you're trying to toss this guy in there.
Yeah, and it sucks because, as I said, I think when it came to the comics, Thracians were actually they were like in that Greek mythology. So that's kind of strange, All right, we're going to be moving on to White Tiger here, which I feel is the third best Beast 2-drop in the neutral faction.
Yeah, no, that's definitely fair on that. I'd say in Zeus's situation, very balanced. It's always a good 2-drop in arena, I think. So it's like okay, so balanced and same with if you're going like constructive for like a beast. So I'll give him 3s across the board. Nothing like high 3s or anything like that, but just like it's okay. It's there. He's good.
Okay. I'm going to be going with 4s here just because your only other 2-drop you actually want to cast on 2 is the Arachne in arena. So I find White Tiger is very valuable as your first drop in arena. When I'm not playing a beast deck, I actually really want White Tiger if I don't have Arachnes as my optimal 2-drop in arena for Zeus.
Okay.
Yeah. If you think about it, the other thing you're normally going to cast is that card that you draw 2 gods off of. But if you're talking about playing more of an earlier curve and a shorter end deck list where you don't go into as many 7-drops at the end, I want to open up with the creature every time. So in those instances, I actually highly value White Tiger, but it's definitely a certain kind of deck list. And
I think that's probably the reason why I'm just keeping them more balanced, is because there are still a lot of good 2-drops for Zeus. Heavenly Agility, you can go Divine Intervention, Arachnes. But like you said, if you don't go Arachne, definitely White Tiger for something of having a body thrown out there.
And I guess I'm going to take his constructed rating down to a 3 because, as I said, he was the 3rd best Beast 2-drop. So I don't feel that he deserves the 4 in constructed, considering Hyena really.
Yeah, I think Hyena and Basilisk definitely take those spots for me on that.
And here's a card that I really like that I don't think gets a lot of love, which is Argus or Argus. Do you know what is it? Argus?
Or RGs? I don't know.
Okay,
Tuma
Argonauts, right? I would think it's from
right?
Jason and the Argonauts.
That's fair. No, I don't think it gets a lot of love too. I liked I like that he was put in let's see, I mean, he was in HRX. I think he was in E-Change deck and stuff like that. I think it's a good card. I think you get a lot of pulls. The only it's so funny, even though we're not talking about it right now, but Apua, the only good Apua I've been doing successful on ranked on playing on Master, actually is more related with gods, because everything else is just the zombie synergy is just kind of down, so just use the nuking and killing, and the gods actually carry some weight, and this really helps get that pull on it. You need your draw. You need some way of keeping that hand nice and sturdy. So I think Argus is a good card, especially for Zeus, the god focus deck. I would give him a 4 in constructed. If you find yourself pulling a lot of guards and you see Argus coming up, I would definitely get him. But because it is very situational, excuse me there, I'll probably do like a high, like somewhere in the 3. It's balanced. It's good still. You're gonna still be trying to get gods with Zeus. Just you're not always promised it. So I would always say hold out on the RDs, or like do it more later, or if you get the option later where you can really weigh it.
Yeah, I agree. Who was that again? I think it was the same guy again. Yeah, it was. You got to tell me, how do you pronounce your name? Simon or Semyon? He's saying that Argus was in Chang's list that was at HRX, and I totally think he's deserved of a 4. People are kind of busting on him because of the 1 damage 3, but
I think he's good. I agree.
You draw so many cards off of him, like it's insane.
Oh, definitely.
So I have him 3 and 4 as well, and I probably would have given him a 4 in Arena if it wasn't for the next card we're going into, which is Brontis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where I was reserving it for too. I agree with you. I'm going to go 4 across the boards with Brontis. I think with Brontis, you already got a 3/3 for 3, but what's really nice is it. Even if you don't get to pull a lot of gods, I would still even try to grab a Brontis if I see him early when I'm constructing Zeus in Arena. You're gonna still get at least 1 or 2, but it's just a good 3 drop, and it scales upward. I would give him 4s across the board, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can't disagree at all there. Brontis is a solid card, and if you don't deal with him quickly, he will become 5 or 6 cost in value. So it's a really, really strong card, and I'm definitely going to put 4s across the board as well.
Yes. Oh, I've definitely had a lot of success with him. So
now, this next card, I just automatically usually put 5 here, but because Shock and Awe is a card, I'm actually going to be dropping Chaos Bond to a 4 in Constructed itself. I'm going to be giving Chaos Bond 5 everywhere for every Pantheon except for Zeus.
In Arena, I would always just Chaos Bond is just such a good card. I feel like I mean, you get a body with that Warcry silence. The only thing that kind of stops them is an on her.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it's just a good card. It's a great card. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Shock and Awe does lower his value a little bit. So I would go down with a 4. In Arena, you're not always going to get a Shock and Awe. I would say still go for grabbing a Chaos Bond. So,
I want Chaos Bond over Shock and Awe in my Arena decks, because you're not going to be able to guarantee you have those optimal war cries stacked in your deck in Arena. So Chaos Bond is just the best card that you can pull for a silence, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And honestly, it's a greater one to have in Arena, in my opinion. Not a lot of people are going to want to be pulling Raw in Arena. Your spell version of it, depending on how good of war cries you got going on your deck, you might want it. But in all honesty, Chaos Bond's better. If you deal with something that got some immunity to spells, you're already losing your Shock and Awe. And you'll probably run into that more due to the neutral giving everybody spell immunity. So I just think Chaos Bond's a better pull too. I agree with you. I would pull it in Arena over Shock and Awe.
All right, next card we have here is Clay Soldier.
Clay Soldier in Zeus. I don't see the Afterlife being the big thing in Constructed. I'll have to give him a 1 in Constructed. I just don't see it. I mean, it's good that it's good for trades and blow up something, but also you get nuked when it gets spawned or range deals with it. You just basically pop the guy out that did nothing. So
I give it a 1 in both, man.
And then I was about to say in Arena there's no point in it. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, 1's across the board.
You might be like, well, there's teleport, and it's like, okay, so you're gonna spend 2 cards and 4 mana.
You're gonna pull a teleport.
Yeah. It would be, what would be really cool? I would really like to see maybe this could be a Chronos rework here. Let's see that teleport effect worked into a Warcry. That would be great. Although I guess that would make sense if that was on Janus more than anything. After playing Smite, that's basically what Janus does in that game.
Would you feel like if Clay Soldier had a lot more defense, but was like guaranteed to die after like a set amount of turns?
Yeah, I would not mind seeing him go up to 3 life. I don't think it would make him unbalanced in any way. If he does go up to 4 life, however, we're talking about responding to a 3-drop with 4 life, or else you get like hammered. That might be a little too punishing at that point, but 1-3 is fine. Be very punishing. Yeah,
because if it became like a 1-4, I think every Ra would do it for sure. I mean, with Resurrect and recopying it over and over, you're gonna deal so much damage at the stone if you can just get it next to it. It'll basically be like Kabra Khan at the stone. And yeah, I agree with you. I think at 4 would be way too much, but I do think 2 is yeah.
Next card we have is Decrepit Bowman.
With Zeus, I kind of would go 1s across the board still. I just don't see him with Zeus. It's just not an afterlife god.
Yeah, I agree. It's not very strong at all. We'll just move on from there. There's not really much to say. We have Departed Warrior next.
I'll just go like 1 in Constructed because you never want him over like an Elder Harpy. 2 or 3 in Arena just in case you're not pulling anything to draw.
Okay. I'm going 3 and 2 here. There are some Zeus decks I could see where I want both of them. Just if you're going like super sellout late deck. But again, I'm only going up to a 2 from a 1 there. And the 3 is justified because, to be honest, 3-drop that draws a card is incredibly powerful to me in Arena. I can't not give him a 3 there.
Yeah, man. That's why I said like 2 or 3 for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you. I think in Arena you cannot go wrong getting draw cards. And I mean, it's a 3/2. It's going to trade out something. At the 3 cost, you definitely can trade out something.
Yeah, exactly. The next card we have here is Doom Speaker.
Doom Speaker. 3/4. I don't see you ever really popping them in Constructed for the sake of popping them in Constructed.
Yeah.
Unless you literally, I mean, if you're playing with just, unless you're just playing with the cards that you got and you really don't have anything else. But no, I'd still go 1 and then in Arena 2.
Okay. I'm going 1 and 3 in Arena. 3/4 to me is not too bad for a body.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, there's no reason to play a 3-cost 3/4 vanilla creature in Constructed for any reason. Next card we have is Elder Harpy.
Elder Harpy. I'll definitely give him a 4 just for Beast Zeus. It's a great 3-drop. And 3/4 Arena. I like the fact you get it right away. I like getting that draw off the bat.
Oh, it's very close to what I have. I'm definitely going 4/4 here. And we'll go on to the next card, which is Imperial Archer.
With Zeus.
Yeah, with Zeus.
I'll just go 1s across the board over here. I don't want to be pulling it from other options that I have.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair. I don't think anyone is crazy enough to try to make Spell Zeus. And if they are, let me know. I'd love to see the deck list, guys.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it would be stacked with, what's that, like fucking Beacon of Hope and like Discover God card, Midas Touch, and oh god. Yeah, let's not go there.
It's so much inefficient mana plays.
Basically, yeah. You basically are playing yourself into a hole tempo-wise. Yep. Next card we have is Imperial Guard.
So Imperial Guard would still be low in Constructed, just because of Constructed, you're just, like you said, you're just not going to be going aimed at that. Yeah. Imperial Guard's still good in Arena. It really is.
I completely agree.
I think it's a great Arena card. So I don't know. I'd still go with that really low number for constructed, like 1 or 2, and for arena, we were looking at 3 or 4. He's still a good card. Being able to trade without getting return damage, it's just too good. And you're probably gonna pull some spells, but also he's a 2/4, 2/4,
Yeah.
2/3.
I have him at 3 and 1 here, and it's mostly because, like you're saying, even if he was a 3-cost 2/4 blank, it's like, okay, we're just like, well, why are you playing a 3-cost 3/4 blank? Well, the one time that he actually procs it, he just removed something off the board mostly. So
Exactly.
it's a big change.
Yeah.
So I have him at 3 for arena and 1 on
One
constructed.
I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Sacred Warrior, I have 1s across the board here. I don't know why you'd play this here.
Yes, Warrior.
Yeah,
Sorry, I was looking down at the. It's
pretty crap.
Just say we need to talk, but no, utter trash for Zeus, man. Utter trash, man.
Shit tier for sure.
Just yeah.
Sellsword, I will give this like. I mean, I would never use this in constructed, but here's the thing. Convince me why this is a 3 or why this is a 2 in arena.
So in arena,
Yeah.
convince you why it's a 3 or it's a 2. I would actually lean more towards just a 3. It's nice to kind of get a little bit of the extra sponge on it. It's a 3/3 for 3. I mean, it's nothing special, but it's not gonna break your bank getting them over the other 3 drops that you can get to, and compared to other things, it might be okay to get. If you're getting aggro down, that little batch of life sometimes can save your butt, man.
No, that's fair. And it's kind of unfair to compare it to, well, I would rather just draw a card and have less life, but not every card is going to draw you a card, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll go with 3 and 1 as well. I think that's pretty accurate there. Now, what about Siege Master? Such a specific card.
It's so situational. I mean, it's awesome in certain parts, like, you know, get rid of the runestone, get rid of the blade forge, get rid of the 2 things against Hindu. Honestly, I would see a lot. I think you'd see more Siege Masters if they give us some Hindu love in arena. But also, you know, this is also guaranteed it's dead against Nuwa. So you don't even get to use that 4 damage out of it. I just don't see it in constructed. In arena, I do lean on other things more so because I've played so much Nuwa in arena.
Yeah.
That I've never seen it have an impact against me. Because it's good damage, such good damage, but it just pops. It just pops all the time.
Yeah. You either die to Odin hero power.
Yeah, I mean,
or...
two hero powers instantly already deal with it. So, like, it's just a bummer. It's a bummer. But its effect, I mean, takes out 2 structures. It's very situational. It's more a, you know how like you had in Magic tournaments you had your side deck. This is like a side deck card.
So again, when we're talking about a card that would probably be good in a side deck, this becomes something that might become useful then in Conquest then.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if you were going to be playing against, like you're trying to target a Hindu deck, for example, or you're trying to target, I guess Bologna is the only other one because Siege Master instantly kills the Sylvanas structure. Yeah. And that's so situational, though. Like, the only thing I could ever think this is useful for is when you're going to play against Hindu, basically.
Exactly. It's a counter pick, and that's why I think it's just perfect for a side deck. It's a side deck card, but I don't think we have any side deck situations right now.
Well, again, like, you understand how the tournament system works, right, with Conquest mode?
No, actually, no. I didn't, unfortunately, get to see any just yet.
So I'll give you like a quick breakdown here. This is exactly what they ran at HRX, and this is what the tournament on the 27th is going to be ran as: you bring 4 decks, each player bans one of your opponent's decks, and you play until each deck gets a win. Okay? So in that sense, if you know that like Hindu is going to be super popular at that time, and you want a card that can just smash Hindu, and you have a deck you're building just to beat Hindu, Siege Master would definitely go in there, you know? Because at that point, you're just saying, this is my Hindu smashing deck. If I'm going to be going up against, like, for example, Chinese, I would not play this deck against it.
Oh, yeah, never. Yeah.
So, it's hard for me to still give it more than, like, a 2 here in Constructed and a 2 in Arena, but...
Yeah.
In extreme circumstances, like you're saying, sideboard circumstances.
Very situational. It's one of those things where the Warcry actually is really good, but you'll have to have the structures.
So the next card we have here, I will admit, Chima has brought me to the light here. He has shown me the way when it comes to stereo piece. I never picked this guy in Arena before, and then he was like, no, man, like, he either kills something that's way bigger than him, like kills their 4-drop, or he hits their summoning stone, and he's already done his work. And it's like, no, he's right. I actually really like this card now.
Yeah, no, I think the only way you can really stop him is if you body block him, or you get one of those, you know, pop a Athena next to him, or the random things. But stealth is so good, and it's only on 2 cards, and it's a really good ability to be immune from all those anything that targets it. You can't really do anything about it. You can't even get him with the Warcry unless it's once again AoE. So it's a good card. I think it's a good card. As far as Constructed and Zeus, I don't really see it in Constructed and Zeus, mainly because, I mean, that's where you got your Scylla.
Yeah.
That's where you got a lot of... Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of good 3s that outweigh it. But in Arena, it's always still good. So I'll give it... Sorry, Chima, but I'll probably give him 1 in Constructed for Zeus. But in Arena, I definitely will crank it up to like a high 3 or a 4.
Okay. And I'm going with 3 and 2. The only reason I'm not giving him a higher rank with Greek specifically is because, as you mentioned in Arena, opportunity cost of a 3-drop in your deck, I would obviously pick Apollo or Scylla over the stereo piece here. So that's the only reason I'm keeping him at 3 here in Arena.
Oh, okay. I was keeping more in mind that also you don't ever get to see an Apollo's next to a stereo piece over here.
No, that's a good point. Right. That's a good point.
You're right, though. There are better 3s, though.
But I mean, I'd still pick him a lot, but because of what comes in the Pantheon is all.
Exactly, yeah.
Next card we have here is Suiterer.
Once again, in Constructed, your Enyo's stronger. You're not really zerging too much. Well, no, it's really good with Beast. What am I saying? It's wonderful with Beast.
Yeah.
Zeus, I'm losing my mind. I would say it's a 4 in Constructed. Like 3 in Arena.
I think the same. And the more Arachnes that you get, the more powerful Suiterer becomes. Yeah. So I'm going with 3 and 4 as well, specifically just because of Beast Law as well. Tusky. Tusky, for Constructed, I'm going to say right now, is broken in Beast Zeus, I think. I'm actually going to give him a 5 in Beast Zeus.
That's fair, yeah. There's just... You're already trying to handle other things, and Tusky just exasperates that. When something's stunned and you got a bunch of little spiders to whack it, and you don't lose them, it's incredible. So yeah, I'd give him a 5. In Arena, Tusky's always good in Arena too, though. I'd give him like a 4 or 3. Tusky's always a good pull. It's a good 3 pull in Arena when you're stuck with certain options. Tusky usually is a good draw.
did you say you were going 4 and 5?
I think 5 or like he's like a regular 4, like a high 3. He's a good pull. We think he's a good pull. He's a good card.
No, totally. And I'm with you on Arena. In every deck ever, Tusky's at least better than the norm 3 pick. So I also gave him a 4. Next card we have here is Wind Elemental. Let's skip ahead to the gold one here.
That's
Wind Elemental for Zeus.
Wind Elemental for Zeus. Constructed, just don't see it. Once again, a lot of Afterlife doesn't work well with Zeus, but that spell Zeus that keeps coming out. This actually might give you better spells for spell Zeus than what you work with normally. So, but it's all random casino. And I'd give him a 1 in constructed. An Arena. And it's one of those things where it's like a 2 or 3. It's one of those things where it's balanced. I mean, if you have no other options and you haven't really pulled anything else, it's still a good card to have for like 3/3 body. I mean, just like the same thing with Cell Sorter. It's in that same part. That's why I gave Cell Sorter 3. It's to give you that life, but it's a 3/3 body for 3. It's giving you options.
So did you decide on 3 for Arena?
If I would say it's on the same par as Cell Sword, then I did give Cell Sword a 3. I'm gonna just give Wind Elemental a 3 then. I'm still gonna stick with 1 for constructed though. I don't see you wanting to build a Zeus deck constructed. Arena, you're in a different situation with Arena. It depends on what you're pulling. So.
No, for sure. Okay. I agree with you. There's no reason I'd be playing Wind Elemental and constructed. Same thing with this next card we have here, which is Zaben Scout.
Yes. Zaben Scout. The zombies can't really do much, even with like a Beast Zeus. So I'd just go 1 and 1. I just don't really want to be pointed, or maybe like a 2 to just give it some love depending on what you got. But I'd say 1 and 1.
Dude, I asked my fiance for 1 more shot of tequila. I'm literally looking at 4 fucking fingers in this thing. I'm like, dude. Oh, okay. To be fair, she just said you asked for some tequila, so I can't. I love you though, baby. Thank you. So I'm with you.
We're getting up to the 4 costs pretty soon, so we just got to go halfway through that.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way I figure. Is like, to me, Sundays and Fridays are my days I get to enjoy myself, because Friday night.
Stop talking to a Mexican about tequila, though. That's not right. You're torturing me.
Oh man! So did you say 1s across the board there?
Yeah, I don't see myself really wanting to pull a Zaben. I'm sorry. If I'm gonna go for 1/3 range in any circumstance, it's gonna be an Aries.
No, that's fair. I would never use them either. I'm also gonna put 1s across the board. Next card we have here is another obvious Greek themed card, and another card that doesn't really work with the Greeks. So,
yeah, it's No, you're right. Unless you're trying to pull something wonky with dropping him right after Apollos and trying to do 6 damage, I always still like Outcast. Especially, I like it in Arena. I love anything you can surprise your opponent with is something I like. So in Arena, I'm gonna give it like a high 3 or 4. I just like it. It might be just personal taste, but I like Outcast. It's fun. And constructed, I'll give him like a 2. I think it loses a lot of its effort, and honestly, if you try to craft a Zeus deck, half of the time is you just don't have enough space in your deck.
The one thing I'll say about Aegean Outcast that instantly makes 1 Greek card much better, and why I will say I'll for sure give this at least a 3 in Arena. Aegean Outcast and Hades is actually very strong.
Oh, very strong, very very strong. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
you 6 range spanking people around.
Yeah, you go. Your turn 5 is your Hades, and then your turn 6 is Aegean Outcast and Pump, or Pump and then a Gene Outcast, depending on what you want your final stats to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, no, I wouldn't give it anything less than a 3 in Arena. I'm with you. I could totally see this card being a 4, depending on how your deck is shaping out to be. And also because I would easily pick this over Aphrodite almost every time.
Yeah, no, I think he's a great card. I honestly, like, even his Warcry works out better for destroying structures than your Siege Master.
Completely
You're
true.
instantly killing the structure and all that. He works in any of those situations, and that's why I love Outcast way better. It's 1 more mana, but it works in everything. It's not so niche.
Yeah, I agree. And with the 4/4 body for 4, I think he's definitely justifying. Man, you're making me want to give him a 4 here, but
I like him, man. He's fun. He's just a lot of fun. That's why I give him. That's why I give him the high 3 or the 4. He's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun with him in Arena.
I'm going to stick with the 3 only because there's nothing that the hero power can do to affect him.
That's true. That's fair.
I'll leave it at 3 there, but I totally understand, and you don't have to justify your 4 at all. I understand. Next one we have here.
Behemoth.
Yeah, Carrier Behemoth.
So Carrier Behemoth, I'm just going to give 1s across the board. I just don't really see him in Constructed for Zeus. Okay, well, nah, I still wouldn't. It's just not me. He's a card that's just not me for Zeus.
I agree. There's infinitely better 4-drops. If you don't have the ability to summon a creature with your hero power, you pretty much have no reason to be playing Carrier Behemoth, in my opinion. So I will also be putting 1s across the board here. Next card we have here is, in my opinion, the Arena All-Star, Chao Feng.
Oh yeah, this. I don't know what you did it with rankings with Chima for neutral, but this guy's just a champ in Arena. I think he's, catches everybody off. They have to deal with him. If they don't, then you just gave them a big headache, a big problem. You're gonna win. I'd rank him really high in Arena, probably 4 or 5-ish. And Constructed, if it's Beast Zeus, you're looking at like 3 or 4. It's funny, he has more value in Arena, in my opinion, than in Constructed for Zeus.
Yeah, hell yeah. When you're talking about your 4-drop in Beast Zeus, you should be looking at what can I cast to end the game, not like how do I get better board position at that point.
Exactly.
So I agree. I will be giving him a 4, and actually I will be giving him the 3 in Constructed. Specifically,
I would lower him up in Constructed for you.
Specifically because in terms of Beast Zeus, 4-drop to me is always and will forever be Stone Guardian.
Yeah, no. Definitely.
Next card we have here is Gallus, which is definitely another possible counter-ish card,
Yeah, no, Gallus is good for dealing with definitely what you're playing against. I'd give him like a 3 in Arena. It's good to have. I mean, he's got spongy stuff. He's nice to have. But he's okay. He's like balanced. As far as Constructed goes, maybe like a 2. Depends on what you're feeling. 2 or 1. It's just you're not really constructing things around this. You got a Daiki, and you're probably gonna live and die by Nike.
Yeah, I could see that. And what about in Arena?
In Arena, that's why I said he's balanced. I would say he's 3.
Okay.
Sometimes it's kind of good to, depending on what you have as far as your rare pulls. Sometimes you get this guy, Carrier Behemoth, and a Zaven Scout. You're gonna pull a Gallus. So I think he deserves more weight than a 1. Maybe it could be a 2, and as far as Zeus goes.
Yeah,
I think he's decent. I think he's balanced.
I could see what you're meaning. The only reason I'm giving him a 3 here in Constructed is because, again, we're going to go back to talking about Conquest mode, and if I wanted to build my Greek deck towards a anti-Nuwa deck, Gallus is going in. Like, Gallus and Nike would be the cornerstones of my anti-Nuwa deck for a Conquest deck for playing Greek.
Definitely fair. I mean, definitely can prolong your Scylla and other things that you can get popped a lot quicker.
Yeah. I could really see you really frustrate an opponent with those two cards themselves.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Next card we have here is, I mean, I don't think there's any Pantheon where this guy is bad at all. Gladiator is fantastic.
Gladiator is a wonderful card. It's a good card. It's just a good card. It makes your plays efficient. You basically are getting an extra 2 mana out of your turn. I think he's a little bit weaker on Zeus, mainly because you have to have the god out.
Yeah.
In order to use it. So sometimes you can't even use it, even if you have it going on. But he's still a good card. For constructed, I'm still gonna give him like a high 3 or 4, mainly because, say, if you're gonna build around it, Kraken, you need to have him with it if you're gonna be like a Kraken focused deck, just so you can really get a lot out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And for Arena, he's very efficient too. I don't know. I think like a high 3 in Arena. You're gonna also have a lot more neutrals in Arena. There's sometimes where I do pull them out or have them in hand and don't have the god, which sucks when it happens. It just, I still think he's good though. It's a good card. It does make things more efficient. So I still think he deserves at least that high 3.
Oh no, that's fair. I'm going with 3 and 4 here. As you said, you can't always guarantee having gods on the board at that point in Arena because of deck construction. He is definitely high 3, like you're saying, but I do find myself playing a lot of Gladiators in Greek for constructed. So,
oh yeah, man, it's a good card.
I'll definitely be giving him a 4 there. And next card we have here is Uguay.
Ramps up, gets stronger. Let's see, what do you got for him?
Right now, for constructed, I have him as a 3, even considering Beast Nuwa. I don't find him super powerful for that. Again, Stone Guardian is my number 1 target for Beast Zeus. But for Arena, I think he's incredibly powerful. I think he's an easy 4, a 4/4 that gets bigger every turn, can usually 2 for 1 with most opponents.
Yeah. No, definitely. I would agree with you wholeheartedly on that. I don't think he takes the place of Stone Guardian for Beast Zeus. It's just that range, that power. It's just so good. But Arena, he's never really a bad option with a lot of. I mean, almost every Pantheon.
Yeah,
he's a good option. So yeah, no, I agree with you.
Okay, so we got 4 and 3 here for both of us. Next card is Rapacious Satyr.
I don't find myself using it in Zeus constructed. 2 or 1. As far as Arena goes, like a 3. He's a good card. It's decent in Arena. A lot of times you catch people goofing on it, so yeah, like a high 3.
I also have it as a 3 in Arena, and I have it as a 2 in Constructed.
Constructed.
The main thing I have as a concern with Constructed is opportunity cost-wise. This is not a beast. This is not a god. And it has low stats for the 4 cost. Although it has an incredibly powerful ability, it's hard for me to justify putting it in a deck where deck synergy has to be so strong and constructed. It's just essential.
Yeah, there's just really nothing to synergize well with it. That's why I gave it just the 1. Even though I do value it more in Arena, I don't see myself wasting my 25 on it. So that's why I just couldn't give him a sword.
No, that sounds good to me. All right, we're going to be moving through the 4s here. We're actually wrapping up on the end of it here. We got 24 more ratings to go. And we'll start with Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. Love the random fun with it. It's a fun card. I find myself putting them in just a lot of constructed decks just because it's just like I like that that random fun. But honestly, I'm not sure if I have stuck them in any of my constructed Zeus's. So because of that, we're gonna give it a 2 in constructed. In arena, I'll give it more love. In arena, I think I'll probably do like a 3 or 4. It's just a fun card for me.
Yeah, and outside it being just fun, as long as you do hit a 3-cost card off of it, it is almost always super good. Like,
it's extremely efficient. Unless you get like Banishing Pillar, and you just cry a little bit. But yeah, it's a great card.
Oh god, yeah. There's definitely some really bad pulls off of it, but even some of the lower end pulls that are not completely useless, but are like, well, shit, that wasn't worth really spending it on. But for example, like you get the pillar that does -1 attack or -1 movement or something like that.
Yeah, but at least those affect the board a lot better. I think the most brutal one I've ever gotten twice was the Banishing Pillar for sure.
Oh yeah, then you're just paying 4 for a 2/3 at that point. Yeah. That's terrible. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next card, which is Spartan.
Oh, another arena champion.
Yeah, I agree.
With Zeus constructed, I mean, he's a good card. I don't really see it synergizing. He's just a good card. It's just a good card. 3/5 for his mana cost, and his ability. It's a good card, but I would go maybe like 2 or 3. And then for arena, definitely you're looking at like a 4 right over here. It's a great card. It's a good card to pull on arena anytime.
Okay, I have 4 and 3. Is that what you had as well?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right, next card we have is Stone Guardian.
Stone Guardian, I'm gonna go 4 and 4. It's a good card. It's just a good card, guys.
I'm gonna maybe ruffle some feathers here, and I'm gonna be giving this a 5 in arena. And
all right.
While it's not something you can necessarily pump up, Stone Guardian is a card that I have won more games over than any other card in the game. Part of this is because it is a neutral card, to be fair, but there is not one card in Arena that I've literally won more games off of than Stone Guardian, and him not being responded to. He's single-handedly won me more games than any other card in the entire game. So I cannot give him less than a 5 here in Arena.
But do you really think he's game-breaking, though? I think that's a great card.
In Arena, yes. Because if you don't have Silence, or you don't have something that does 3, which at turn 4, usually your turn 5 is where you're unlocking 3 damage nukes, like in List and all that stuff. Yeah. 4/5 damage, 4/5 mana for 3 damage. It's pretty good. Like if he was a 3/4, he'd be in every deck. Period. You know.
Oh, jeez, man. That'd be a nightmare.
Yeah, completely. So to me, his ability is one that literally generates, like basically,
it ramps up so much. I mean, it becomes an uncontrollable problem.
He becomes a lightning bolt every turn, if you want to put it into Magic terms. Yeah,
for sure. You're basically after a certain point, you got baby Neath that doesn't need a heal. You know, like it's just doing it, and for a cheaper cost.
And obviously, the only reason I would not consider him a 5 in Zeus is it when you're going against Bologna, but that's just Bologna being able to make it feel like no one is safe. That's just what she does. So,
yeah.
Next card we have up is Tomb Warden.
Tomb Warden for Zeus. I'm probably just gonna go with 2s across the board.
Okay. I probably will give. I'll give it. I was about to say I'm probably skewing it a little bit. I'm going 3 and 1, just because. God, I hate saying this, but I'd actually play Tomb Warden over Aphrodite half the time.
In Arena?
Mm-hmm.
That makes well. I mean, that totally makes sense. But Aphrodite, you don't get to pick Tomb Warden over Aphrodite in Arena or. Well, I guess if you already had him on the 4-drop, I see what you're saying. My bad,
I guess, yeah, I should clarify. I'm not talking about opportunity cost in Epic, but more the card cost in terms of building your curve. Yeah.
The 4-drop, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
So,
I agree.
So that's why I do want to give it a 3 in Arena. I kind of considered it a 4, and probably a 2 in Constructed here.
Okay, that's fair.
And you said 2 and 2, correct?
Yeah, I just gave it 2s across the board. I think in Constructed you're not really gonna, unless you're really trying to aim it around it. I'm not sure where you're gonna. I'm not sure where he's gonna fit. You know. As far as Arena goes, I think I'll probably pull better epics, but I mean the 6-5 is great. I mean the only thing that's a bummer is if he gets silenced or if he gets stomped on by like a Thanatos or something like that. But once again, in Arena, you're fighting many different people, so
yeah,
it's definitely good.
The only reason I really settled on the 3 here is because I really value Tomb Warden and Sagittarius almost equal, to be honest. Like,
oh, that's fair, yeah.
So I think both of those guys are fairly balanced at 3.
Yeah, that's good.
So next card we have here, we're moving into the 5s, and we have Armored Behemoth.
Behemoth. Once again for Constructed, I'm gonna have to give him something lower. I'm looking at maybe like 2. Once again, like for neutrals and just in general for your 5s. Your 5s I don't know. I just don't see the trade on it. I love Armored Behemoth if I'm a Nua. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Just zap them with your own little Crescent Blade or something like that. I've won so many arena matches and ranked matches just popping a ton on them and just walking up and killing it. But I just can't see it too much on Zeus unless I'm gonna I'm gonna stick with the 2 on that. An Arena, I mean, it's got 8 health for 2 and it gets stronger. So I'll give him the 3.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was looking at too. I'm going also 3 and 2. And reason being is if you do have the card set up, Sanctuary in Arena with Armored Behemoth has got me 16 plus damage over 2 turns. So it's something to consider where it's like, I'm going to trade with this guy right here and then pop the Sanctuary. So it's half decent, but definitely he's not deserving of a 4. As you were saying, if you're talking about where this card is ideal in, definitely Nuwa, definitely with Crescent Blades. Next card we have up is Bull Demon King, which is a beast, but I don't think I'd ever see myself putting this in a beast Zeus deck.
Yeah, no, I'm in agreement with you. I don't. Bull Demon King's hilarious if you can pump him up. The 3 AoE at the 5 cost, it's I don't see myself putting it on Zeus. So I'm gonna put him down to like a 2 or 1 Constructed.
Mm-hmm.
An Arena. Still probably do like a 2 or 3 with him.
Okay. I think I'm also going for an Arena. I'll probably go for a 3 still. It's a very low 3. I'm going to be going also to a 2 on Constructed. He's pretty shit, and I would never pretty much put him in a Constructed deck. But when we're talking about Arena, he has some value. Any character that has Cleave in Arena is good. Not great, yeah, no, but good.
Good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the potential to really wombo combo a bunch of people, I mean, it's always good, you know.
Totally.
Back when the Census had it, I mean, I think I picked the Census like crazy back in Arena.
When he had what?
When he had the Cleave.
Wait, Ascensius had Cleave? Oh, wait, you mean when he was a 3-drop or whatever? or a
Yeah, it
4
was
drop.
a 3-drop with cleave.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah, he was a lot better back then. I
liked him before they changed him.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate because it was kind of cool where it was that if you're shoulder to shoulder with an ally, do X kind of thing. Because right now they're down to like 2 cards that have that effect now that they changed the Sensuous.
Yeah.
You got Gallus and Suterer, I believe.
Gallus, Suter, and...
Thracian.
No?
Thracian.
There we go. Yeah, I was supposed to say, I'm like, there's one more.
Yeah. So, take it how you will.
Yeah, it used to be what, Spartan and a census on top of that.
Yeah. Next card we have is Dune Guardian, which I don't think there's a way to heal out of the Greek faction, so...
So you decide to build a deck around your spell sword.
That's right. 4X Sellsword and 2 Dune Guardian deck. You're good to go.
There you go. For Zeus, it's just... Yeah, he's a 4/6, but you'll never see his ability, so I'm just gonna... Nah, you just don't want him. You don't want him on a constructed...
I think
and you just won't be able to get his ability. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the 1s.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 2 in arena just because of the stats he's got.
Stats.
Yeah,
no, he's got good stats. He does. 4/6.
But you're literally never gonna trigger that ability.
Nope.
Next card we've got is Fanway.
What do you think on this one?
Fanway to me is like probably 1 in constructed, maybe a 2. Actually, no, we'll go to 2. He's probably used maybe in a Beast Zeus deck that you're missing some cards.
Yeah, I think he's a good substitute card until you're able to fill out what you got with Dust.
Yeah, because Hydra, you'd want Hydra in a Beast Zeus deck, and if you don't have it, Fanway is not a bad choice to replace it with.
Mm-hmm. And Arena 6/2. As long as he doesn't get popped first, it's the problem. It's these low lives. It's just a low life.
It's true. It is true.
So much damage with range. It's so good. Like, yeah, he's immune to spells, but man, it's just you're always able to either get 1 and then he's done, or you get lucky. But it's you definitely could trade out the big guys, which is nice. I'll just give him a 3. He still has the immunity to spells.
Do you want to give him a 1 or 2 for the constructed?
For constructed, I'm in agreement with you. I'm gonna lean on like a low 2.
Just because of Beast Zeus.
Yeah, just because he's a good filler if you need to. But as far as any other form of constructed for Zeus, your Nike is gonna take that place.
Yeah, I agree. So next we're going to be looking at Kang, who I don't think I've ever put this guy in a deck before.
Same here. By the time I get epic pulls in arena, I just don't grab them. I feel I'm sure it's awesome if you're fighting some range. Like Sylvanas against Kang could be hilarious, but it just keeps popping up and you just keep wasting them. But but no, I just never pulled them. I never play them. I would give him, I don't know, if I never play him, maybe 1 unconstructed and 2 in arena, depending on what kind of epics you're facing against.
Oh, that's fair. I'm gonna give him a 3 in arena, but 2 to 3, he's definitely in that low 3 or high 2 range for me for arena.
Mm-hmm.
What about Nacom Warrior? You don't really have a lot of creatures, but you could maybe argue that Arachne alone might justify Nacom Warrior in arena. How do you feel about that?
Maybe just one. I just maybe you're looking at maybe like two. I'm looking at like mid-tier twos. I just it's a lot of mana for your draws. A lot of mana for your draws, and you're going to be going for killing your guys. So I don't know. I feel like it always works better with Odin the most.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the low numbers on this one. I'm gonna stick with 2s across the board.
Okay. And I'll probably be going with just 3 and 1 here. Just mostly because it is a 5-cost 4/4, which is not the best, to be honest. But as I said, if you do have that, like a double Arachne starting off, you might have a couple extra guys laying around. And I would want Nagham Warrior as my 5. However, I wouldn't pick it over the Deadeye. I wouldn't pick it over a lot of these other Hades. I wouldn't pick it over... here, let's see here real quick. I wouldn't pick it over Venator, War Behemoth. So this is an incredibly low 3 I'm giving this. And the main reason for that is because Argus is such a better card drawing engine for Greek in general compared to Nagham Warrior. So
I agree with you wholeheartedly there.
Yeah, I totally understand why you're giving this a 2. I got to give it a 3 just because I have used it in some Greek decks. But your 2 is probably more accurate than my 3, to be completely honest. So next card we have up is Occult Deadeye.
It works good. It does work. You want to pull back one of your guys, especially pulling back with your Warcries, and it's at lower costs by 1. It's a good card. We're looking at maybe 3 or 4 and Constructed, and same with Arena.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I'll probably give him a 3 in Constructed and probably a 4 in Arena.
That would be live now.
Yeah, we're live, dude. It's been a really busy day. We interviewed Gaming Dad this morning, did a bunch of rank to boost up 10 MMR, which when you're number 1, 10 MMR is crazy, dude.
Like, oh man, it's a ton, man.
Yeah, it's been a very busy HOTG day for MidiknightCCGs today. It's been a great day.
That's awesome, man.
So, so you said 3s and 4s here. I kind of want to give it a 3 across the board. I actually see this as a better card than Hades even in Arena, but I can't really give it higher.
I would say it's like high 3s. It's good. It works. It's just there. It's balanced, but like in a good balance. It kind of tips over the middle scale.
Yeah, I'd say I agree with you there. And the only faction I think that Deadeye is better in is when you get to pair it with Osiris, honestly.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to go to the next card, which is Poisonous Hydra.
Yeah. Oh, man. After the nerf. I never pulled it on my arenas. So I'm just gonna have to give it a 1 Arena. I'm sorry, Hydra, but no, I just don't pull you. I just don't. My other 2 options are always better, in my opinion, from my experience. And then same with Constructed, probably like a 2. It's just not that. I just don't see it being that effective with Zeus doing much.
So I will say, I'm giving this. This is actually a pretty big split we have here. I agree with you, 2 on Arena. It's pretty shit in Arena. However, in Beast Zeus, there's no reason I would not play this card. Like, I have to give this a 4 and not a 3 even, considering this is your optimal 5-cost play in Beast Zeus.
Yeah, that's fair. With Constructed, I wasn't even... It's No, you're right. There's really no other option on a 5.
I'm not saying you should reach for the 4, but I would argue that I think that your 2 on constructed is a little low.
Might be a little too low.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I agree with you on that. It might be a little low.
All right, next card we have here is the other 5-drop beast you're going to be playing in a Beast Zeus deck, which is Suku.
Oh yeah, Suku is wonderful. If you're going beast, that charge at 5 damage, I mean, cannot go wrong. Pours across the board. Well, if you pull it, if you find yourself pulling at least a decent amount of beast, I would still grab it if you were, it's that 5 damage charge. It's definitely worked wonders for me.
And you got to remember, there are a lot of beast neutral cards, so your chance of having exactly. So your chance of having it in arena is pretty high. So I agree with that. High 3, low 4 is definitely where I'd be with on Suku.
Yep.
Venator is the next card.
I've always liked this card in arena, period. Like on any Pantheon. I like her. 5/3 range. Pump up somebody else to give a surprise, a little happy birthday punch. So I'm gonna give her a 4 in arena off the bat. Just that might just be favoritism. I've always leaned on pulling her. As far as constructed goes, you're going for like some kind of pumped up, funky build. Could be fun. So maybe I'll just give her like a 3.
Okay, I have her at 4. 4 for arena and 3 for constructed.
Oh yeah, we're in agreement then.
Cool. We're down to 10 more picks here, and after that, as I said, please hang around and chat more if you like. I'm going to be running the next. I think we went 4-0 on that arena run, but I want to play that out before I end the stream tonight. So the next card we have is War Behemoth.
War Behemoth. I like War Behemoth. I like drawing cards out of them. I like them in arena. Give them like a 3 or 4 in arena. Constructed, depending on how you're going with it, I can still go with like a 3. It's a good card. He's balanced, very balanced. I think they did a good job by adding him. I like him.
I agree with that too. War Behemoth earns a 4 when I'm playing as Nuwa or Roman for constructed.
Stick them in the fire or something.
Exactly. But when you're talking about with Zeus, which doesn't really have that much of good interactions, then I'm only going to be giving him a 3. The only card that really helps War Behemoth is actually Aphrodite of all cards. When you give him Protect 1, you're going to be drawing probably 2 more cards off of War Behemoth, and that's pretty significant.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, cool. So we're kind of getting to the end here. We're down into the 6 drops now, and we have Baboon.
Baboon, the aggro stopper. Sometimes.
Sometimes, exactly.
Sometimes. Bologna never.
Oh God, yeah.
It's a pointless card against Bologna.
They need a immovable as another keyword that says that they cannot be moved by enemy abilities.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like grounded or rooted or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Bologna and constructed. It's a good 6-drop beast. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Bologna. It's not Sim Bologna. Baboon. Yeah, I'm looking like two like high 2s, 3s for both.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that sounds pretty good. I'm gonna be going probably 3 and 3 here.
Yeah. Let's see.
Just mostly because you don't really want to be dropping 6 drops in Beast Zeus. you do not curve that high at all. And if you were going to curve that high, I would honestly think you're probably going to be playing Furies over the baboon.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
especially since you're trying to be really aggressive.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're putting yourself defensive already on Beast Zeus, I think you're in trouble.
You're going to lose. Yeah, totally. The next card we have here is Chieftain.
You think of Chieftain with like a Beast Zeus, like, you know, the mob's dying, just kind of like in the same position as Neocom Warrior when you said.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair assessment here. I would probably give him a little bit more love than Neocom Warrior just because he's a 6 cost 6/5 that as of this current patch, if a spell AoE nukes your entire board and he's pumped up because of that, he actually doesn't die. So that's a pretty nice change, which as of, I believe, 0.36, it did not function that way. And to me, that's a pretty big change.
Oh, it's a huge change.
So I still...
definitely didn't realize that when I did a Guan Yu play earlier and caught me off guard.
Exactly. You're like, wait, he's supposed to be at 0 health. Why is he still alive?
Yeah.
Just something to keep in mind for the people in chat here. Where do you feel that you're going to be rating him for Arena and Constructed?
It's always decent. Like I'd probably go 3s across the board. He's very balanced, very good in certain situations. So I think you can pull something with him. You can always work with a Chieftain, especially if you're trying to work with one.
And I think that's a good assessment there. If you were playing, for example, Odin or Mayan, I probably would be giving a higher value to him. But 3 sounds about right for a faction where you're not really spamming anything at all. So the next creature we have is Fury.
Don't get the damage back. This was in the starter deck that you start out with, or at least when I was starting off with playing, so to me, I thought it was the invincible card. I don't know how else to explain.
Oh, dude. I could understand with how it's written.
Great with trades. Oh, my goodness. But yeah, I think it's a good card, so I'm going to stick with, like, 3s across the board or high 3s.
Okay, no, that makes sense. The one thing I will say with Fury is it is a good card. Again, it's better than Baboon. But if I were to have a high-cost beast creature, I probably would be playing the Lemayan Hydra over the Fury. So I think 3s are probably where I'm going to be going to. Assuming you're playing Beast Zeus. If not, it's like a 1. So.
Yep.
All right, we're down to this page and one more creature left. And the card we have up is Lernaean Hydra.
Yeah, this is where for the value for the 6, this is where you're gonna go with it. So I'll probably say if you're doing constructed, it's beast. We're looking at low 4, high 3s. It's balanced. It's good. It's been nerfed to the ground, but it's still the option you want to grab, and I agree with you on that.
What about Arena?
As Arena, you know what? I haven't really got to pull this guy with Arena, even in general. So, as far as Zeus goes, for a 6-drop, 6 turn, I feel like a lot of times people can get the 5 damage to him. But I still think he's decent, so I'll stick with like a high 3/4 still. It's okay. It's nothing incredible. It definitely doesn't feel as legendary as it used to be.
Not at all. Wherein it used to only take, what was it, 1 damage from a source?
Oh man, that was like so good.
it was definitely overpowered, to be honest, though.
Oh yeah. Well, it worked. It worked too well with certain things. I mean, well, even with Zeus, it would be incredible right now. I mean, actually, I probably should be giving him a little bit more love with Zeus because of Gaia, and you can definitely get healed back all the time if you make this 5/10. Um, and then it's going to keep scaling up its damage. So there's definitely some combo potential. That's why I want to say high 3, or like just like a 4, low 4. But beyond that, an arena, if you did get the guy in this, it's going to be fun. But at the same time, you're probably going to see like a Poseidon on your thing.
Yeah.
You just it doesn't take the value over it. So I still want to stick with like high 3s and stuff. It's in the middle.
I'd totally say that the most impactful high drop cards right now are the ones that immediately affect the board state, and that's why Fire Giant in particular is so powerful.
Oh yeah.
All right, so the next card we have up is Satyr Pathfinder.
What do you think about this one, Midi?
For Arena, it's a 7/4, and you have no way to move him. He's probably like a 2 or 3, and in Constructed, he's like a 1.
Yeah,
he's taking Athena or Nike's spot. That's the way you have to look at it.
Yeah. No, Athena's, like I said, it's why I give Athena's to 5s across the board. Just, I agree with you, man. Halting out the 1 card per turn, just versus board control, and I agree with you. Something with high drops, anything that affects the board immediately is awesome. You're not rolling a bunch of crazy low guys where you want to like limit them to one card. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you. Constructed is 1. I would go 2 with Arena.
Okay, I think that's a pretty good call. Next card here we have is Blade Master.
Anything with charge with some good pop. I just like charge. It's fun. So
me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with like a high 3 on Constructed, maybe 4. And then in Arena, same thing, 4. I'm gonna give it 4 in Arena.
Okay, I'm kind of lower here on Constructed. But on Arena, I totally agree with you. It's a really good card. The only thing is, again, Greek has very strong 7 drops. So
yes,
that's the only reason in Arena, and specifically why I give it such a low rating in Constructed.
No, but I understand.
Yeah, in Arena, it's more of the, I can't pump this guy, and if I had to pick between charge, stun and pull, and direct damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
That's kind of where I'm at there.
I agree with you. So yeah, in light of that, I'd bump each of my numbers down by 1.
No, that's fair. That's exactly where I have it at, too. We're down to 4 more cards here, and we have Brute next.
I'm gonna put Brute in the same place as Blade Master then. He's good. I think I'm gonna keep him in 3s.
That's fair. Next card we have is Juggernaut.
You're actually the one who kind of enlightened me for Juggernaut. That's actually pretty awesome. It sounds so fun. I got to do that now. If you're Constructed, I'm gonna give him like high 3s or 4. For Arena, how do you find yourself using Juggernaut in Arena?
In terms of priority, it would go, let's see here, Ares, Artemis, Brute, Juggernaut, Blade Master.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. It's expensive. I understand why you'd have them on like the second most for that for Arena.
Yeah, to me, Brute is really freaking stupidly powerful just because Protect 2 is incredibly difficult for Odin to deal with. And you see Odin a lot. So it's one of those things where it's like, if I need to seal the deal against someone who's been trying to pressure me early, and I drop a Brute and he's slowly moving across the field and just completely clogs that lane, I love the feeling of that.
Yeah.
So we got... What do you think in terms of Arena for the Juggernaut rating then?
then in light of that, I honestly like. I'm in agreement with you on what you say. So in my opinion, most of the time with Juggernaut, when I get my epic pulls, I even though he's a fun skill, I just don't pull him as often in comparison in arena. So I usually would stick him to like a 2.
Okay, no, that's completely fair. And for constructed,
constructed, like I said, dude, I think you opened my eyes towards that. I'm gonna give him a higher number for that. That sounds like so much fun, and I really want to try it. So I'm gonna give him like a 3 or 4. It just sounds like a lot of fun.
I have him at 3 as well. It's definitely a very powerful conditional combo there.
Oh yeah, Sanctuary. That just seems incredibly fun. Because that's pretty much where all his gas is. His life is his gasoline.
Exactly. And for 1 mana, you're able to just completely ignore it.
Exactly.
So the next card we have here is Fire Giant, and I think we'll no arguments here.
5s across the board. You can't not pick Fire Giant in any situation. It just, even with his nerf, he's still very good. He can either finish. He's either, if you don't use him for like finishing off, then he's gonna kill something. Doesn't do that for that. You have a 5/8 body. I mean, there's just too much good going on with him, and he just goes. He can fit with anything. He's just a good card. He's the best neutral.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Is there a better neutral period than Fire Giant?
Nah, he's up there. He's king of the mountain.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I would rather pay 9 mana for Fire Giant than 9 mana for our next card, which is Essentius.
Yes, most definitely. It's funny, you actually do see Essentius. I see him. By the time he comes out, I have ranged that deal plenty enough damage to him, and then he dies the next turn, or maybe a turn after that. And then the randomness of it. Sometimes he'll just go ahead and whack one of the lowest bodies on the board, but he is a 9/9, so he's gonna kill whatever he's gonna hit. I'm just gonna give him 2s. Well, 1 unconstructed. I'm still not gonna use him constructed. So I'm gonna give him 1 and a 2.
Okay. So
I'm probably meaner to this card, but I've liked his old version way too much more, so I'm probably more against it.
The one thing I will say with this card is before, when the card did not take damage from creatures with summoning sickness, it was a lot better. And since that bug was fixed, he is a lot worse. So it's kind of how I feel with that.
He had like a free trade.
Yeah, exactly. We're at the end of the neutral here, and I really got to pee, so give me like 30 seconds.